What is up, everyone? This is the Jose Show. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this lovely show. As the usual, we have a lot of hot tea to spill, so now let's get started. Now let's start off with Kourtney Kardashian. Because apparently Kourtney Kardashian's ex-boyfriend publicly exposed Scott Disick for sending him a direct message, dragging her PDA with Travis Barker, and it's unbelievably awkward. Eunice Benjamin posted a screenshot of a private conversation between him and Scott Disick, who was clearly attempting to join forces in criticizing Kourtney. Well, it got super awkward, you guys. Like, super awkward. And apparently, Kourtney's ex, Eunice Benjamin, is keeping things very real and has just publicly exposed Scott Disick for mocking Kourtney in a private conversation. But before we get into the drama, here's a little reminder, just in case you've forgotten how Eunice fits into the Kourtney/Scott story. So Eunice and Kourtney dated on and off between 2016 and 2018, shortly after her split from Scott. Kourtney also recently revealed that she and Eunice secretly got back together in late 2019, but then called it quits again in June 2020. However, despite being together for a number of years, Kourtney's sisters made it pretty clear that they weren't wholly supportive of the relationship. Kim and Khloe first indicated that they weren't Eunice's biggest fans after he was photographed getting close with a model on the beach in Mexico, just days after news broke of his split with Kourtney in 2018. Kourtney's sisters jumped straight to her defense after the picture surfaced and publicly called Eunice out when he denied the situation was romantic, with Kim commenting on Instagram, in quote, "nice pic from your boys' trip." And Khloe followed Kim's comment with another equally scathing dig aimed at Eunice's denial, writing, "Alexa, play Heard It All Before by Sunshine Anderson." Ouch. And earlier this year, Eunice got tangled up in a feud with the Kardashian family once again after he was briefly mentioned in the last season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In the episode that aired in April, Khloe said Eunice was bad for Kourtney, and she even tweeted right after the episode aired to double down on her dislike for him, calling him toxic and negative. And Scott, who shares 3 children with Kourtney after an on-again, off-again 9-year relationship, has also publicly denounced Eunice, going on the record saying that he wanted to kill him during the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion, which was filmed earlier this year. However, despite the animosity between all parties, Scott has now decided to slide into Eunice's DMs in an apparent bid to join forces and shade Kourtney, who is currently enjoying a vacation in Italy with her new boyfriend Travis Barker. The exchange between the respective exes began when Scott sent Eunice a picture of Kourtney straddling Travis on an inflatable boat in Italy. Now this is what the exchange said. "Yo, is this chick okay?" Scott wrote alongside the photograph of Kourtney and Travis. And then he went on and said, "Bro, like, what is this in the middle of Italy?" He continued in an apparent attempt to start a conversation and vent about their mutual ex. Interestingly, the image that Scott sent wasn't someone else's story or post, but an apparent screenshot saved on his phone from the Mail Online, suggesting he'd been scrolling the images of Kourtney and Travis published earlier that day. However, perhaps to Scott's surprise, Eunice decided against joining in and criticizing Kourtney. Instead, he responded, "Doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy," which he followed with a sprinkle of drama, adding, "P.S. I ain't your bro." And if the messages themselves weren't awkward enough, Eunice decided to publicly expose Scott's comments about Kourtney by posting a screenshot of the conversation on his Instagram story. And then it went on and said, "Keep the same energy you had about me publicly privately," Eunice wrote on the screenshot, presumably in reference to Scott's comments about wanting to kill him on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion. Eunice then followed up with the second Instagram story where he continued to criticize Scott. And quote, "Couldn't miss this one." Eunice wrote, "He's been playing around for too long. Try to stay quiet and be the nice guy." End quote. And despite the messiness, it seems that many think Eunice made the right call, with plenty of fans jumping to Twitter to come out in support of his decision to expose Scott for mocking Kourtney. Now, Scott publicly trash-talked Eunice on national TV in April and is now acting all buddy with him, one fan tweeted. "Good for Eunice. If I was Scott, I'd be changing my name and moving away." That's what one of the fans said on a Twitter. Well, anyways, you guys, this is a bunch of drama. This is a bunch of dizziness that's already given me just having to read all of this. Okay. Honestly, you guys, come on now. I mean, this is just ridiculous how an ex is just gonna go on and intervene in the situation. Just leave Kourtney Kardashian alone. Kourtney Kardashian is living her life, man. Okay? Kourtney Kardashian has moved on from you, dude. Really, ain't nobody asking you to be having these dramatic things and for you to be causing more and more issues. You know, just move on with your life, bro. Just like Kourtney is. You know, whenever we are leaving a relationship, we should always just let them go. We can't just hold on to them, especially if they've moved on with a new boo. You know, with the new love. You know, we cannot just go off and just sit here and just get obsessive. You know, it's just not working that way. It just does not work. Period. So anyways, Kourtney, keep on living your life. Okay? That is all I have to say. Okay, so now from Kourtney Kardashian to now more interesting news. Now let's talk about Kristin Cavallari, shall we? Well, Kristin Cavallari is dating country singer Chase Rice, and apparently they really like each other. Okay. Well, you guys, someone special to sing about. Kristin Cavallari is dating country singer Chase Rice, and apparently US Weekly confirms this. Well, it's still very new, but they really like each other, a source reveals to US that they've been spotted around Nashville on a couple of dates. She's been to one of his shows, and they're taking things slow. But anyways, the insider adds that Kristin thinks Chase is a really sweet and fun guy. And news of their budding romance broke 5 months after the very Cavallari alum, 34, split from comedian Jeff Dye. End quote. They were never officially together, a source exclusively told US in March. Kristin is doing her own thing. End quote. The Hillis alum was previously married to former NFL player Jay Cutler, and they shared 3 children: Camden 9, Jackson 7, and Sailor 5. The exes wed in June 2013 in Tennessee and announced their breakup nearly 7 years later. Okay, well, you know what? This is another interesting story, and this is another love story that I have to talk about here. Okay, well, you know what? I feel like in this situation, like I said with the Kourtney Kardashian situation, everyone has a right to find a new love in their life. Everyone has the right to move on. Everyone has the right to live their life. You know, as long as there's no cheating, no infidelity going on, it's all good. You know, just break up with the person as long as you don't like that person, and as long as that person is just not doing any good to you, you know, and you know, but and that's right. You know, that's the right thing. You know, we can't be staying with someone that we don't like. We have the right to break up. And that's exactly what's going on, not just with Kourtney Kardashian, but also with Nicole Cavallari. So, I mean, I congratulate Nicole Cavallari about these news that she has. I mean, Kristin Cavallari, that she with this news, now that she is apparently moving on with the new man, you know. And I wish her nothing but luck now that she's moving on. Now that she's um finding her own path in life, now that she is, you know, getting happy and 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 uh, and is, you know, finding someone that could possibly be with her for the rest of her life, you know. So that's very good news right there. And you know what, love is beautiful, you guys. You know, especially when you find the love of your life, and that love of your life is really making you happy. Because if you are going to continue and torture yourself by continuing off with the person that you don't like, and you feel like you're obligated with being with that person, then unfortunately you're just going to end up losing. You're just going to end up miserable, and then God forbid you end up doing stupid stuff to yourself because you're with someone that you don't like. You know, it's your life. So that's all I have to say. So anyways, congratulations to Kristin Cavallari for now finding that new love in her life. So anyways, from Kristin Cavallari to now more interesting news, shall we? More and more interesting news. Okay, so now onto rapper DaBaby. Well, as we all know, DaBaby has been under lots of fire lately for the homophobic statements that he made in a festival a few months ago. And now, apparently, DaBaby met with 9 HIV awareness orgs and apologizes for homophobic comments. Well, according to the U.S. HIV awareness orgs, DaBaby met with 9 groups to discuss HIV and share personal stories of folks who are living with the virus. The orgs had sent him a letter earlier this month to call him in instead of calling him out, and have a thoughtful conversation about his recent comments at the Rolling Loud Festival. DaBaby made gross homophobic remarks, as we all know, on stage about gay people and people living with HIV. And his subsequent attempts at saying sorry seemed half-hearted and misguided at best. But according to the orgs, he was much different in the meeting, genuinely engaged. They say the rapper apologized for what he called his inaccurate and hurtful comments about HIV and the impact that it had on Black and LGBTQ plus communities. Marnina Miller of the Southern AIDS Coalition says DaBaby's willingness to attend the meeting and learn and grow from his experience could set a positive example. Other orgs at the meeting included the Black AIDS Institute, GLAAD Positive Women's Network and Trans Inclusive Group. In the wake of his Rolling Loud controversy, DaBaby had several performances canceled, as we all know, and one of them ended up being the Lollapalooza. Well, anyways, what I have to say about this is, you know what? People make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all say stupid stuff. We all do stupid things. Now, if DaBaby really meant his apology, and if DaBaby really did learn from what he did in that festival, then you know what? I feel like he deserves a second chance. A second chance, because, I mean, everyone deserves a second chance. You know. And this is if he really meant what he said and he really meant his apology. Especially now that he met up with these HIV orgs. Now, I personally think that not only was he supposed to apologize there, but I also feel like he needs to apologize on social media, in a live video, or in a recorded video, whichever it could be, and literally, you know, just go out there and tell his fans that what he did was wrong, what he did was unacceptable, and that he needs to, you know, and that he needs to learn, you know, from the situation, or that he has already learned from the situation. Because, I mean, it wasn't right what he did. It really was not right. So, I personally think that DaBaby deserves a second chance, but at the same time, does he really mean it? Does he really, really mean it from the bottom of his heart? And also, he should be more open to this and tell his fans and tell everyone that he is really sorry, and that he is, and that he, you know, should be learning from this situation instead of just denying that he did wrong, you know. So that's what I personally think from this situation that DaBaby is going through. You know, I mean, it already caused a lot of cancellations for DaBaby, not just for festivals, but it also caused him, you know, to get canceled from the radio, get canceled from the charts. His song was credited with Dua Lipa's hit song Levitating, and just recently it got pulled out from the charts, and it got pulled out from the radio. And of course, I mean, a lot of people who were fans of who are fans of Dua Lipa, I mean, they applaud the fact that DaBaby is no longer in that version. That DaBaby is no longer in that version of, you know, that DaBaby is no longer in that version of that song, that Dua Lipa of Dua Lipa's song. You know, and we just have to, you know, acknowledge that, I mean, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. You know, that's all I have to say in this situation. So anyways, you guys, that is it for today's show. I'm glad you guys got to watch this hot tea that I got to spill for you guys. I'll be coming back with some more hot tea, especially if it's super, super hot tea. So anyways, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jose Guzman, and then don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Jose Guzman, with a U and an N. And then don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Jose Guzman 97, for more deets, on more hot topics, and on, everything else, you guys. So, anyways, have a nice day. Till next time. Peace.